Hello everyone, my name is Katie and welcome to my Greenland Quilter channel. I hope everybody's been having a good week so far. Uh, it looks like it's just me and one other person right now. So I don't know what to, okay. So anyway, tonight what I'm going to do is I'm going to work on my uh, Cotton Cuts Puzzle Mystery Phoenix. I'm working on clue 2 right now. I've still got at least 2 more clues to catch up because I think 4 may have just come out. I'm not sure exactly. So anyway, tonight we're going to work on 2. We'll see how far I get. I'm already part of the way through it, so hopefully I can finish it tonight. I'm also going to talk about tomorrow night's live. We are going to start the block to the point tomorrow, which is on page 467 of the 1000 block book that I've been working out of every other week. We will be doing that. So it's block number 919, page 467, and it's called To the Point, and that's what we'll be working on tomorrow night. I haven't pre-sewn this one because it's mostly half square triangles along with some quarter triangles and some 4 patches. So I don't think there's going to be a lot of trouble with that, but I will make sure that I have everything ready to go for the live tomorrow night. Okay, and let's see, what else do I need to talk about? Saturday I'll be working on Magnolia. Unless something's changed, I think as far as I know, Jess is going to be here for that, but I'll check in and make sure. If not, then I don't know. We'll figure it out. I'll do it by myself, whatever I got to do. Anyway, so I thought I would show you something really cute. We got these cute little kits from, hi Myra, from the local store here. And I thought you'd think these were cute. They're Lego kits, as you can see. So we made, these are creators, what you call 3-in-1s. And so we bought two to do two of the 3. But aren't they adorable? I did the base and Nikolaj did the boot. And that's what we played with last night. So yeah, I thought you'd like seeing those. They're pretty cool. I think this one's especially cute. Okay, so anyway, so what I'm going to do is I'm just going to sew, and Teresa might be able to join us in a little while. Hopefully for that. Hi, Nancy. Hello, Denise. Welcome, welcome. And how's your mom doing, Myra? I hope she's doing well. Anyway, so that's what I'm going to do is I'm just going to work on PMQ. And yeah, so we'll just do that. Y'all know I took a couple days off last week. Nikolaj was supposed to have been here on Friday, and he didn't come home until Tuesday, I think or Monday or Tuesday, I can't remember. Okay, so let's go ahead and I'm going to pick up where I left off. Last time I was working, or when I was working on clue 2, I had gotten all the way down to like 3.1 where I'm starting to put these blocks together. So I've already got one set here pinned, and I'm going to go ahead and start doing the rest of them. So that's what I'm going to work on tonight. Okay, let's see what I can do about this and make sure I got these lined up properly. Okay, so we got this one. Gonna be turned around like this. And then, yeah, because these are laid out a little bit different than what I'm used to laying out. It's pretty interesting how you lay them out. Let me see if I can open this up enough to have a peek at it. Okay. So how's everybody doing tonight? I hope everybody's doing well. Looks like I'm missing something. Okay, but I don't think so. Okay, so we're gonna put that's right. These are 3 pieces that's got to be sewed into one length. So I'm gonna set 2 of them aside and then go ahead and pin this. So let me show you how this is supposed to be done, because it's an interesting angle. Look at the other camera. I'll spotlight it so you can see what I'm doing. Okay, so basically you have this angle here, and we're going to take this other side right here. Yeah. And we're going to line it up where it's from here to here, and that's what we're going to sew together. And it'll form that next section. I've already got the other one pinned, so I'll go ahead and pin this one, sew down, and then we'll be joining on the other end as well. Okay, and everything's going to be in the way. All right. Hello, Obsessed. Welcome, welcome. Myra says mom is in status quo, good days up and taking all meds, treatments, and good fluid intake. Fair eating today. 2 days in bed, no fluid or food. Uh-oh. Well, I hope it gets better, Myra. Y'all are going to probably see me yawning a lot today. I can't help it. Sometimes I'm like that. I'm been up early today. I didn't sleep that great last night. Tossed and turned like always. Okay, so what I'm going to do is, one thing I did notice here is there is a seam right here that these two seams right here have to match. That's the only portion of this that I want to make sure that I've got it lined up properly when I pin it. Hi, Joyce. Welcome, welcome. How you been doing? So what I'm doing is I'm just going to get these pinned so I can start sewing them. It is what it is. Spotlight wasn't on the fabric. It should have been because I saw it. Hang on. Well, I took the spotlight off. I just was showing how I'm going to sew it together. So here, let me show you real quick the one I've already pinned together. Okay, let me spotlight it real quick where everybody can see what I've got pinned together here. And then I'm going to take it back off spotlight. Okay, so this is what we're attaching, two sides here. Oh, you know, I'm about ready to give up on the second camera because it's just such a bad angle. Okay, so anyway, this is, let me take this off, take it apart again. Hold on. Okay, so we have this piece right here, and then we're going to pin this piece onto here so that I can sew it. And I just have to make sure that these two seams right here line up properly. Your face is on spotlight? Oh, then I guess it's not working tonight. That's interesting. Hey, Jean, welcome, welcome. Okay, so I guess I won't be spotlighting the second camera. That's very strange. I swear, sometimes these things do not work right. Okay. All right, well, sorry guys. I guess it's not going to let me spotlight the other camera. So sorry. All right, so let's go ahead and pin this together. I just want to make sure everything gets lined up properly. I really like doing these PMQs because I don't have to do any cutting or measuring. I just have to sew. And I'm really, this particular batik line is so soft. I can't believe how soft it is. It's amazing how soft it is. Was it working for the others? I don't know what you mean. Denise says it works well for me. I see well. Okay. It should have just when I pinned I don't know. Sometimes things don't work properly, I guess. I'm not gonna let it get in the way of doing the live tonight. There might be some setting I didn't turn on. Who knows? So what have y'all been working on this week? Anyone been sewing? Tell me what you've been working on. All right, we almost got this ready to go. Okay, so now I have everything pinned and we're going to go ahead and sew it. All right. Singing in the Rain, my version, says Joyce. Singing in the rain. If anybody's ever watched that version of Godzilla where he's in Manhattan and you got Matthew Broderick singing in the rain while he's digging up these big earthworms, it was pretty funny. In fact, I was on a Godzilla kick today. I watched all three Godzilla movies today because the latest news is the new Godzilla Kong movie will be out in May of 2027. So I'm super stoked about that. I wish it was 2026, but you know, because I feel like we've been in a movie drought now for at least 2 or 3 years. I finally got around to watching the newest Captain America movie, and I don't know how I feel about it. It seemed like it was okay, but it seems stiff to me. And that usually happens when you have actors that don't normally working together, and you have Harrison Ford playing the bad guy, which was very weird. Not used to him playing that type of a role, so it was interesting. Okay, so I've sewn both, and I want to make sure I've got these that one seam lined up properly, and it looks like I do. So I'm going to take it over to the iron and press it. Let's check this other seam as well. Yep, that one's lined up too. So I'm going to take them over to the iron. What about the Thunderbolts? I haven't seen that one yet. I have to wait until it comes out on Amazon because I don't have a theater where I live at where I can just go see movies. Hey, Robin. Essa. Hang on a minute. I forgot to bring something here. I'm gonna ask Nikolaj to bring it in so I can show you guys. So I posted a poll over on my community tab, and Also, in the Facebook group concerning me and Nikolaj doing a live putting together the love thing, I can at least show you the box. I'll get Nikolaj to bring it in for me. Okay, so while you're waiting, here's what it looks like so far. This iron is hot. I forgot to bring it in here. Did you want to say hi or no?
Nah, I'm good.
Okay, Myra's in the channel.
Hi, Myra.
There's a few other people too.
Mm.
Robin says hello.
I saw that. Yeah.
Oh, you're watching the live?
No, I'm not. I saw the Robin said something about it. Get your butt in here, girl.
Yeah, I kicked her in there with you because I didn't want her being in here tonight.
Hey. Hey.
Okay. I'll show you this love thing in just a second. Let me I need to press one more. I need to press the seam open right here. So I don't know if y'all saw where those of you who are doing PMQs, Cotton Cuts made a post in the Facebook group. They've posted the colorways for the next PMQ that starts in the fall, which is going to be called Under the Sea. So you might want to go over there and look. Actually, we can look at the colorways together if you'd like. Okay, so now I've got both these done. I am going to run this roller over this seam a little bit better than I did. And then I'll show you the little love box kit that we're going to do on a live. I just got to figure out how we're going to do it because we've got to put lights. I think we're going to do it at the dining table, but I've got to figure out how to get the cameras and the laptop positioned in such a way. Well, right now we only have one laptop, so, and it's the one that doesn't have a video on it. And well, it doesn't have a video screen, but it has a camera that works on it. So I don't know how we're going to do it yet, but we'll figure it out when we get ready to do it. Okay, so this is what they look like. Now what I got to do is the directions then tell you that you need to take and put. All right, so which end of this have I been doing? We're going to put this other side on here as well. Yeah. This doesn't look right for some strange reason. Hold on a minute while I figure out something here. These should be lined. Oh, they are lined up. I'm just getting my. It's funny how angles can tease me. So anyway, let me turn it back around where you can see what I'm doing. Okay, so I had already sewn this one side on. Now we're going to sew the other side, which is the same red color that you saw on the right side. We're going to put this on the other side and sew this to this. And we have two of these that we'll be doing. And then this will be clue 2A that'll be done. And then we'll work on 2B. Okay? So that's what we got to do. I've got to join these two and make sure that this seam right here lines up. Okay. All right. Hey, Rita, welcome, welcome. Mara says she's watching the Jack Ryan series. And Joyce says my internet must be way behind because I haven't put it up here yet. Oh. Anyway, this is what we're going to do on the live. And he's going to do 2 of the letters and I'm going to do 2 of the letters. And it's pretty interesting. This box is the block. Uh-oh. Gee whiz. What in the world? It's strange because I don't have my sewing table up against my machine. It's scratching the paint off my sewing machine. And you know me will not fix it. So, and this is what the back of it looks like. It has 791 pieces, and it is in the art, they call it the Lego art section. And the number for it is 31214. Go up to see what I've worked on today. Okay, so anyway, that's what we're going to be doing on live. I don't know exactly when we'll do it. It's probably going to be on a Tuesday or something that we'll do it. Because I also got to schedule us to do get back on track with our Greenland stuff too. And for those who didn't know this, we've already had 2 cruise ships come through here in the last month. Very early for us. Where's my scissors? Okay. I just need to get some little thread tails off of here. Okay. So I'm going to go ahead and pin them on. You posted pictures in the Greenland Quilter group, Myra? There is something all over this pen I've got. Is it? Oh, okay. So what has everybody been working on? Post in the chat what you've been working on. Nope, just typed it out. Oh, you put it up there somewhere? Oh, I missed it then. Robin says it's a massive flying geese. Obsessed says cool Lego set, Katie. Mara says, hey, doll, love and miss you. Oh, gotcha. She said she cut and hemmed curtains for mom's caregiver, set up a quilter's floor frame, but can't get the snap over pieces over the sandwich. And Jean says she sewed 2 birds, FPP, not sure what I will make with them, just wanted to FPP something. Joyce says she was singing in the rain. Okay, looks like I caught up on everything. Got it. Okay. Just bear with me while I get this pinned. I actually got dinner made early today. We had grilled ribeye steaks from the grill, and I made a vegetable stir fry tonight or today before this live. So I managed to get dinner eaten before our live for a change. You know, I don't hardly ever get that. That usually doesn't even happen. But I got it done early today. Now, will I get dinner ready early tomorrow? I don't know. Depends on what what I'm gonna make. I haven't decided yet on what's for dinner tomorrow. May Rita says she's been making shopping bags and doing FPP, not using papers but fabric only FPP. How do you do FPP without paper? It, but fabric only FPP foundation paper piecing. I'm confused. Sorry, it seems like I'm so slow tonight. Joyce says, I'm not sure if I'm going to do any more cotton cuts. The cotton cuts, the tree life I did, shred it so bad. The person I talked to about long arming won't because it's frayed so bad. Oh my gosh, I've never heard of that happening, Joyce. I'm so sorry. You put the design onto the fabric instead of paper and sew it. Okay, that's interesting. Never heard of doing it like that. That's got to be hard to do. Okay. Well, I can tell you that there's 3 sets of boutiques in this Under the Sea one. It's the first time I've seen 3 sets before. Usually you don't. Usually they have 2, maybe. Sometimes just 1. Okay. I've been sewing for 50 plus years and have never had fabric shred and fray so bad. What do you know what fabric line it was, Joyce? Did you talk to Cotton Cuts about it? Oh boy, that is a really I need to fix this seam right here. That is too narrow for my taste. Denise says, which one, Joyce? I might not be able to fix that. Yeah, I need to take a partial seam. I have one of, what's happened here is I have a narrow seam. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take part of the seam out of one side of it so I can get at it as soon as I find a seam ripper, that is.
Hi, Katie.
Hey, Teresa, welcome.
Thank you. Hello, everyone.
Good to see you.
If I can get my laptop going here.
Okay. I must have took my seam ripper into the bedroom. Great. All right, I'll be right back. I have to go get a seam ripper.
Okay. So, how's everybody today? I'm doing all right. I helped Brandon earlier today moving our fifth wheel. That is always a chore. The main the main problem is backing it up, you know, and getting it all hooked up. It's a fifth wheel, so yeah, it's a real pain in the you know what. I think it took us about a half hour. Go forward, go back, go forward, go back, go forward, go back, go forward. But we got it moved into its summer spot. And so we just need to get it cleaned up. I think we're going to try and sell it because he really wants to get a small motorhome. And so, well, he wants to get any motorhome, whether it's big or not, but I want a smaller one, like smaller than 30 foot. I'd like a one about 24, 26 maybe, with a couple of slide outs. I think that would be just perfect. Because it's got to be something that I could drive, you know, and I don't think I could drive a 35-foot motorhome. I'd be scared, especially in traffic, you know.
Are you pulling it behind is it a rig or is it a full drivable one?
Motorhome is something you drive. Yeah.
Okay, got you.
Yeah, but right now we just have a fifth wheel, and that's you pull it behind your truck.
Yeah.
But we got it all moved, and now probably not today, but tomorrow I'll probably work a couple hours out there and get it cleaned up. See if there's any mouse damage or any. We need to fill the water tanks and check the lines. And what I'd like to do is take it, once we get it all cleaned up and stuff. I know he wants to sell it, but I would like to take it down river here and park it at one of the campgrounds, and then we can go down and go fishing whenever we want and stay the night, you know.
Yeah. That
And
sounds
I
like a
think,
good plan.
yeah, I think you can camp in the same spot for like, I want to say 17 days, 14 or 14 to 17 days. So,
I know a few people that have their campers parked in a little RV park where they can go and stay, several days and then go back home again.
yeah. I mean, we could even leave the truck hooked up to it and just, I could follow him in the car and then we can just go back and forth in the car. That'd be cheaper on fuel.
Yeah.
And then we could just move it over to the next camp spot when we've hit our days, you know?
That sounds like a plan to me.
Yeah.
So what are you going to work on tonight?
I think I'm going to work on this horse for a little while.
Okay.
And on my collage quilt.
You want to show it to everybody? I'll spotlight you so that you can show them.
That's the horse.
You're coming along with it. Wow.
Yeah, I'm getting some on there, yeah. This is the black and white photo.
It's really coming along. Wow.
The Horse by Emily Taylor. Okay, now I can see everybody.
It's going to be beautiful.
Thank you.
Hey, Quilting on. Man, I feel like I am totally out of sorts tonight.
Oh, Mara says they traded their fifth home for a motorhome too.
Yeah, they got a big, nice one.
Do you like it? Hey,
Sure.
I got a birthday card from one of the sewing ladies.
Did you?
Yeah, I was surprised.
Oh, that's awesome.
That here it is. Got a little cat and a puppy on there.
Oh,
And then she gave me a fat quarter. It's it's a petite
uh-huh.
and it is, let me open it. It's blue, but it's got a little bit of purple in it.
Oh,
And
that's pretty.
yeah, isn't that pretty?
Yeah, very much so.
Yeah, that was a pleasant surprise.
Yep.
What are you working on?
I'm working on my clue 2 of my Phoenix PMQ,
Uh,
and I noticed I sewed a seam too narrow, so I'm fixing it. Or the seam allowance is off. Put it that away.
oh,
Sometimes that happens. Probably because I wasn't paying attention to what I was doing. Rushing. Hey, Mary G, welcome, welcome. Anyone else I missed just came in? Don't think so.
hi, Mary. Hi, Joyce.
So, our weather has been teasing us where all the snow had melted, and then I don't know, 3 or 4 days ago, we got
Yeah,
about 6 inches of snow covered everything. But now it's melting again. And I'm like, it wants to be in spring, but the winter is trying to hang on at the same time. But it's warm. It's like 42 degrees here today. Very warm. The house feels like a sauna.
yeah, we've been having weather like that, cold and warm, cold and
Yep.
warm.
I'm like,
We're,
I'm so over snow. I just want it to go away and let's get on with spring.
right?
Yeah, let's get on with it.
I agree.
I want to get outside and see if we can't get something done about getting me set up for a garden. And so I can grow some stuff this summer. And I want to get back to walking again because I know me and the pup really need it, especially with tourist season coming. I don't even know if I want to work, which is kind of weird for me.
You don't feel like working?
Nope. I think I would rather just sit down there and watch people walk around all day long. I don't know, I'm just not feeling it this go around. Plus, I'm also concerned that there's going to be too many I'm sure there's going to be questions come up, and we're not supposed to even talk about politics or anything else. Although I'm not sure how Bitsy's going to want us to answer questions if they do ask about it, because I'm sure it's going to get asked. How does Greenlanders feel about this?
Well, you just say, I'm sorry, I'm not allowed to talk politics. But thank you for your question.
Yeah. Oh, I've got myself all confused now here. Okay. Let me set this aside for a minute, get this one sewn together where I can see what I'm doing. It's really not politics, it's just about what's going on with Greenland. But this week has been pretty interesting because the king of Denmark's been here for the last several days. Not in our town. He was in Nuuk, and then I think he was going to Sissymoot, probably already there by now, and he's going to be going by sledge dog traveling in the far north. They're going to go look at all of the military satellite systems and stuff that Denmark has in place up there, and the only way to get to them is by sledge dog teams because it's sitting on ice.
Yeah.
So and this will be, I think, his second time doing it, from what I understand. But he's young. His mother, who had been the queen of Denmark for I guess a really, really long time, and she decided to abdicate. She wanted to take retirement and enjoy what was left of her life. So they put her oldest son in as king, and they have 4 kids, I think it is, and 2 of them are twins, and the twins have Greenlandic names. And we have a garden here in the town that's named after the kids. It was built, I think, 6 or 7 years ago, something like that.
Bye, Denise.
Time to prepare supper. See you later. Enjoy your dinner. Hi, Jacqueline. Nice to see you. Anybody? Let's see.
Hi,
hey,
Linda.
Linda. She just came in. I just saw that.
Yeah. Hi, Jacqueline.
Okay, now I can have a look at what it is I'm supposed to be doing with this other block, because I pulled a piece off of it. All right. Where did I pull this other piece off at? I think I pulled it off right here. Or no, I pulled it off from down here. That's where I pulled it off at. Okay. All right.
Ooh, I must have twisted my ankle outside today.
Uh-oh.
That's weird.
You all still have snow on the ground, or is it gone?
It's pretty much gone. We still got snow in the higher elevation of the mountains,
Mm-hmm.
but or where it's really shady, that never gets any sun. There's a little bit there, but for the most part, around town is gone.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, which is really nice. And I planted irises a couple of years ago out in this flower bed I have.
Uh-huh.
And last year, the elk ate them before,
Uh-oh.
they just mowed them down. Well, I went out there today to water, and I have all these irises that bloomed.
All
And they're little
right.
short, they're the little miniature ones,
Uh-huh.
so they don't get very tall. That they're kind of blue, purplish colors.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, they're so pretty. I was so happy that the elk didn't eat them this year, and
That's
that
cool.
I actually got some irises to bloom.
That's
It'll be the
awesome.
first time since I moved here 8 years ago.
So they normally wipe them out every year?
Yeah, they normally just,
There must be something tasty about them for them to be
yeah,
zeroing in on them.
they supposedly, irises are one of the plants you can have that the deer and elk won't eat, but the deer don't eat them, but the elk will. So the only plant that, well, there's 2 that I've noticed that, well, okay, maybe 3. Well, there's probably more than that, but columbine, they don't mess around with that one. I had a bleeding heart plant for quite a while, and they didn't never ate that one. And then those peonies,
Uh-huh.
they don't eat those.
Ah. So maybe the iris is sweet or something, the reason they eat
Yeah,
those.
I don't know.
Or they just like the color of them.
I have this one plant. It's called a spiderwort,
Uh-huh.
And it kind of looks like a spider plant, you know, the how the leaves are. Oh,
Yeah.
you know how a spider plant leaves are.
Yep.
Um, but the flowers grow in these little teeny clusters,
Mm-hmm.
and they're kind of purple colored. They're
Yep.
really a pretty plant, but the deer or elk eat them down every year, a couple of times a year. They really like that
Oh,
plant, but I
cool.
usually put a little cage around them so I at least get to see them bloom.
All right. Let me get the sun back on here. Thinking I probably need to buy a new foot. Maybe my little quarter-inch
Um,
foot is not lined up
Jacqueline
properly.
wants to know what you're working on.
I am working on my Cotton Cuts puzzle mystery flyway called Phoenix. I'm doing the Phoenix, and I'll show you what the colors look like in just a minute.
Yeah, Joyce, irises are my favorite too. And when I lived in Oregon, it was a perfect environment for irises. And I had them everywhere, everywhere. In fact, I belonged to a group of ladies that would trade irises, you know, so we could all have different colors and stuff. And yeah,
Oh, come
I
on.
guess I probably had 25 at least different varieties of irises colors. I had this one that was really deep purple. Oh my God, it was beautiful. And I actually dug up a bunch of my irises, or I didn't like all of them. I just took a few plants from each group and brought them here.
Uh-huh.
Uh, and I planted them, and the elk pulled them up, ate them. So there went all my irises. I was so pissed. Oh my God, I was so pissed. It's like,
Can you put
which elk did that? I'm shooting you this year.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. We don't have deer trouble here. We don't even see deer here. You have to go by boat to somewhere else to even see the reindeer. I think
Yeah.
it's interesting that they don't come anywhere near the towns because I know they're good swimmers.
I saw a white-tailed deer this morning. That's the first one I've seen this season. But I mean, we usually get them every summer, but
I didn't know white-tailed deer migrated that far north.
yeah. And we don't have, I've seen a mule deer here occasionally, but not many. Now there's a lot of mules in Oregon, so I don't understand why they don't come this far, but
Maybe the uh, food that they eat's not the same
yeah, could
versus
be.
where they are, or they have some other reason. Maybe the elk give them a hard time. Who knows?
Who knows? Yeah. Hard to say. Okay. Let's
I
see.
think it's
Oh,
interesting that we don't see reindeer anywhere near town. But I have a feeling it's mostly because where they're at, the food is so good that they don't really need to go anywhere else.
yeah.
Trying to figure out why this keeps doing this. And I think I figured out part of what the problem is, maybe. I noticed that I have a really hard time seeing this dark stuff because it's really dark. This green is really dark and it's making it hard for me to see it. What I'm doing with lining things up. Okay, let's see if I got it properly lined up this time. Need to make sure I pin it good. Teresa Louise, I have such a hard time just picking fabric for a quilt. I don't know how I would ever do it for what you're doing. She's talking about collages, I'm assuming.
Well, I think the process is basically the same, really.
I think that if you overthink it, you might find it difficult. If just go with it. It's better if you just went with it, I think.
Yeah. It's the same in the fact that you want fabrics, you want contrasting fabrics.
Yeah.
Or, you could buy a bundle, a fat quarter bundle, and then just use those because it's been picked out for you already. So they're all going to kind of match. So that would actually be a good way to do it for your first time, I think. And I think you get enough variety in a fat quarter bundle that, like, let me show you this one. Like this bundle here.
Oh, yeah.
There would be plenty of lights, medium light, medium dark, and darks. This would be a perfect bundle for this project. I should have just used this. That would have been a lot easier than picking out my own stuff.
Yep.
And I guess you could do the same thing for your quilts. Just pick out a bundle to start out with. And then the one thing I did is I look at those bundles. I like take them apart and I really study it and figure out what the designer was doing, like how many darks, how many the different shades and all that. And then I just go into my fat quarters or my yardage and I just start picking things out and trying to duplicate that kind of process. And it doesn't necessarily, when I do that, the fabrics aren't the same maker, necessarily. And then the other thing that really helps is if you take a photo, once you get your fabrics picked, take a photo of those and you can switch that over to black and white and you can really see what kind of contrast you're having. So you can make sure you have enough darks and enough lights. Well, hold on to that, Joyce. I'm still playing around with the turtle. Don't worry.
I wouldn't mind at some point. I guess I should break down and start on my legit kit, but yeah, I don't know that I'm ready to do it yet because it's a big project, that one. The polar bears, the baby and the mama bear.
Yeah.
I would love to do parts of it in boutiques, but I don't know that I don't think I have enough of those particular colors in my stash where I could do it, because I wouldn't mind putting texture because it's all, they use solids for these legit kits. I don't know.
Yeah.
I'll start it. I guess I'll start it when I think I'm ready to start it, I guess.
Well, yeah, and I really do not like solids. So I probably would never buy a kit.
It has a lot of different like white, turquoise, very, different light color blues and stuff. And I'm sure that I do have some batiks, but I would have to figure out which ones to use and which ones to leave alone. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I don't want to get too far out there and then get myself all messed up with it. I don't know. I'm just going to give it some thought. Keep on thinking about it. Don't do nothing till I, am ready to pull the trigger anyway.
Right. Oh, I put a roast in the crock pot this morning, and the whole house smells like roast. It smells so good.
Hey, Elfish, welcome, welcome. Nice to see you, and thank you for asking everyone to hit that thumbs up. I appreciate that. Joy says, I have a boutique bundle and greens and blues just waiting on the turtle. She meant boutique. Okay. And Jacqueline says she's doing the flyaway raven. So those of you doing PMQs that plan on doing Under the Sea, have you gone and looked at the colorway yet? I looked at it today. I'm on the fence on which one I want to do. I don't know if they're done putting colors up or not. Also, if you didn't know this, Fat Quarter Shop's Jolly Box, sorry, Fat Quarter Shop's July box is going on sale. 2 pre-orders. They're taking pre-orders for it in case you didn't know that.
Oh, yeah?
For the specialty box for July, for the 4th of July one.
Oh, yeah.
The patriotic one.
I quit buying those specialty ones.
I'll buy the one for July and the one in December. The rest of them I just ignore. They used to do a spring box, and she stopped doing the spring box because I couldn't get over how many. I loved it. I thought it was a great box, but so many people complained about it. She just stopped doing it altogether. I don't know what they thought was so. I don't know. I mean, I don't get so sampler boxes because they're the same every month, but I did like the specialty boxes because it was different.
I don't think they're the same every month.
Same fabric style is what I meant.
Yeah.
There's not.
Yeah, we used to get Tula Pink, but haven't gotten any Tula Pink in a while.
Yeah, it doesn't feed to the rest of us who don't. Yeah.
It's kind of Kimberly style of stuff.
Yeah, exactly. Or Lori Holt stuff. And I like some of Lori Holt stuff, but it's the same.
Yeah. But I don't mind using those for like baby blanket or baby quilts and stuff like that.
And that's probably why I'm still on a batik kick right now, because I don't know. But Jess, so blessed by Jess, she has a fabric line she's doing this Corey Yoder's. It's called Callie & Co. or something like that. And a lot of that fabric line is beautiful. So colorful and happy and bright. And I thought about buying a little bit of that. If you buy the whole flat quarter kit, it's like $180. The problem is there's colors in there I don't care to have. So I was thinking about just going through there and like, okay, I'll take a half a yard of this or, half a yard of that and add to what I already have here at the house before fabric gets so bad I can't buy it at all,
Yeah.
Because it's about to get bad. Well, it already is bad, but it's going to get worse is what I mean.
Yeah, it's a good thing I got a bunch of it.
I might have enough to keep me going for at least a year, and I don't know what's going to happen after that. we'll see. It may end up, I don't, you know, unless I
I
can
think I,
find it. Go ahead.
I think I got enough for at least 10 years,
Yeah, I don't.
except for maybe the backings.
See, I haven't bought fabric since November. And you know, when I was buying yardage, I was waiting until like November to do it when uh Missouri Star and Jordan Fabrics and Fat Quarter Shop would put them on sale right, you know, a month before Christmas. I tended to, you know, save up the money for that. But this past November, Missouri Star didn't have any boutiques on sale, which was very weird. I have enough cotton due to, uh-oh, where'd that pen go? Oh, I bet it went in my machine.
Oh no.
I took the bottom off of my machine the other day. I took out 15 pins. I knew I had at least 5 or 6 in there. I didn't realize I had that many of them in there. They fall through this. There's a, on my presser foot plate, there's a screw hole where you can screw it like a, fasten an apparatus down on it. And the hole's big enough that my little straight pins just fall right through it. Oh, here's the pin. It was stuck to my scissors. Ah, good. Joyce says, yeah, make your own bundle. Yeah, that's what I was thinking about doing. Because I like several of the colors and several of the colors I don't. And this thing's driving me crazy. It's still too narrow up there at the top, which means it looks like I need to move it down. Dang it. It's because I'm having trouble seeing what I'm doing. Fabric is just off enough to be annoying. Try it one more time, and if I can't get it lined up, I'm going to set it aside and come back to it later and just continue on with the rest of what I'm working on. Try it one more time to get it lined up. So no, it's nothing to do with my seam allowance. I've got that right. I think it's because I can't see because the fabric's really dark.
Need more light?
I only have like 5 lights in here. Part of it, I think, is something just, I'm having eyesight problems, period, right now. I need new glasses. And I notice I have difficulty sometimes with dark colored fabric.
Yeah, I do too.
And that's what I'm working with right now, some really dark fabric. Joyce says, I'm doing good. I'm still doing my no buy in 2025. Yep, I haven't bought anything since November. My PMQ that I'm working on was prepaid, so yeah, that's why I say I'm not bought anything because I haven't.
Uh, yeah, I think the last time I bought something besides the sew sampler boxes was in December.
Yeah. And I really don't consider subscription boxes spending money on fabric, really. All right, let me try doing this one more time. And if I can't get it to line up, we're going to set it aside and come back to it. Because it could be I just can't see it good enough. What I'm fighting with is I don't have enough of a seam allowance up there at the top where that point is at. And if I leave it like that, then I'm going to cut the point off, and I'd really rather not. You know, sew over the point. I
Right.
don't want to do that if I don't have to, you know. And it's not lining up, and I don't know why it's not lining up. Something's wrong here. Because it's just so narrow. All right, I'm going to set it aside and we'll deal with it later, and I'll just work on the one side I can work on. All right, I'll come back to this later. I'm not going to keep on fighting with this. All right, I got the one part done, so at least you can see this is clue 2A, and I had to make 2 of these. Okay, so now what I'm going to do is just start working on 2B. All right. Unless it's something to do with the die cut itself is causing it. Because the one I've got completed here, I didn't have that trouble with it. So I don't understand what the deal is here. I don't know. All right, let's go ahead and start the next section. Okay. For those who just came in the last few minutes, me and Nikolaj made these yesterday. I made the vase.
Oh, cute.
So you got flowers and butterflies.
Very nice.
And then Nikolaj did the boot. Here's the boot.
Those are cute.
Aren't they though?
Yeah.
I had fun making the vase. It was really cool. Or watering can, rather. Yeah, watering can.
Yeah.
But the butterflies, the way they had you do the butterflies were pretty darn interesting. But my favorite part, I think, was making the flowers. Okay. So now we're going to be using fabric A, which is this dark green. See how dark it is? It's really
wow.
dark.
Yeah, that is really dark.
Yeah. And we're going to be sewing, let's see, B is this green. We're going to be two of those. Let's see. Yeah. Okay. So I'm going to lay them out here where you can see what I'm going to be doing. So look at the other camera. So we're going to sew this lighter green on 2 sides. And then I'm going to make sure I have this turned so I don't get confused. Okay. Then it's going to it tells us to take D, which is the yellow, and we're going to put it on the left side. On this side right here. And then we're going to put C on the other side, which is this orange color. For those of you who haven't seen it, I can show you a bigger of the Phoenix where I've done a block art with some other blocks. This is from clue 1. Let me make sure I have it turned the right way. So this is from clue 1. So this is 1A. And this is 1B. And right now I'm starting on 2B now. Got to go.
Nice.
Supper going. Okay, Joyce, what's for dinner tonight?
Bye, Joyce. Good to see you.
Very good to see you. Okay, let's get this one sewn on first. And we're going to pick up the same one on this one. Okay, got this one. All right. These down here like this. Hey, Sherry, welcome. She says, I'm finally able to make it in. Thank you for coming. Always happy to see you. Okay, like that. All right, take them over to the ironing press real quick. Okay. Make sure I got everything the way I need it to be. Yep. Now we're going to sew the other green on. How you been doing, Sherry? I've missed you. I have a video to post up of Nora greeting Nikolaj. I haven't got the video up yet.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, you should have seen her.
Oh, I bet.
She was hilarious, as always. You know she's not in here bothering me, right? It's because
Yeah.
she's with him right now.
Oh, okay. I was
She's in the
wondering.
bedroom. Yeah, he's in their bedroom gaming, and she's in there with him.
Yeah, I watch a few of those videos on YouTube where the dogs greet their owners.
Mm-hmm.
They're always so happy. And you know what? Doesn't matter how long you've been gone. They're just glad you're back. You know?
When he came home the other day and she greeted him and then we turned around 30 minutes later and left, she started howling right after we walked out the door. When we came back from the store an hour later, she was still howling.
Oh no.
She was so upset that he turned around and left again. She didn't care about me. Boy, she was upset about him leaving again.
Poor baby.
She's been sleeping with us a little bit. Last night I ended up kicking her around the bed, but because she wouldn't be still. But the night before, she laid on top of him, I think, the whole night. It's like, I'm not letting Daddy out of my sight. What are you working on tonight? I am working on my Flyway Phoenix clue number 2. I'm trying to get caught up with everybody because I finally got my kit. And well, ouch. And I'm 4 clues, well, now I'm 3 clues behind. Because once I finish this, then I'll only be 2 clues behind. Because I think they got their 4th clue this past week, I think. I'm not sure. I need to look and see. Maybe I'm just 1 clue behind it once I finish this one. But I think pretty soon they're going to start clue number 4 if they haven't started it already. Okay. All right. So now all I got to do is let's make sure I put this on the right side. We don't want this to be wrong. Let's see. Clue C is orange and clue D is the yellow. Yep. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and put the orange one on here. How's your quilt? Are you getting caught up with your long arming, Sherry? She's been doing graduation quilts because graduation's this month and everything. And she's got quite a few orders. Ordered with her. People are giving their grads quilts for their graduation presents.
Yeah.
I think that's so cool. Hey, Patty G, I did see you sneaking. She's here. I hope you're doing well. I'm sorry I didn't say hello sooner. I just now saw that you were here.
Hi, Patty.
There is something sticky on this straight pin, and I have no idea what it is. Katie, that's excellent. I love when I get caught up on something. Yeah, I definitely want to get caught up. I want to finish with everybody else. I never get to finish with everyone else. I'm always behind on these PMQs. Always. Hi, Sandra Cedar. Welcome, welcome.
Hi, Sandra.
Okay, let's get this side sewn on. I do my little leader. I keep losing my leaders. I don't know what happens to them. She says, thank you. What wonderful are you ladies? What are you wonderful ladies working on? I am working on my Cotton Cuts Puzzle Mystery Quilt Along Flyway Phoenix. And this is the colorway, in case you're wondering about the colorway. This is what it looks like. And these are batiks by Banyan Batiks of Northcott Studios. So that's what I'm working on is Clue 2. It's a mystery so long, so every month you do a new clue. And then on the 10th month, you put all the clues together.
And I'm working on a art collage quilt of a horse.
I want to do that other horse one that you got.
Hi, Terry.
Terry's here. Hey, Terry, how you doing? Y'all don't forget to hit that like button, thumbs up like button. All right. Now we'll get the yellow part sewn on here and we'll have this part done. And then we're going to be doing another square and a square block again. And then there's flying geese behind that one. Yay. Oh my gosh. I heard from Jean Captain Stitches that you were an amazing artist, Teresa Louise. I can see you are.
Oh, thank you. Jean is too. I watched her video yesterday when she was doing the crayons and stuff, and that yellow rose she did, and the other one, the red one that she's starting to work on, those are beautiful. So why she thinks she's not an artist is, beyond me. I think she does a wonderful job. I'd like to do some of that crayon.
You talking about real crayons or?
Yeah, the crayon, draw crayon on fabric.
Uh-huh.
And that whole process of how to do that.
Oh, so you're actually coloring on fabric?
Yep.
That's interesting.
Yep. It was pretty cool. It was a video yesterday.
Okay, I'll look into it.
Interested in seeing that.
Sandra said she would love to do a collage one day, and maybe a legit kit. How is Mr. Greenland? Nikolaj's doing good. He's home. He's been home since Monday or either Tuesday. He's in there vegetating in front of the computer gaming. That's how he unwinds. Yesterday we built Legos together. Hi, Face the Ace. Happy 1st of May. Yes, indeedy. I can't believe we're in May.
I know.
Shocks me. If you didn't see this is what we did yesterday. We built these two cute little, I did the watering pot with the flowers and butterflies, and he did the boot. And of course, he had his boot finished way before I got mine done. But they're really super cute. But we have a love kit we're going to do together on a live. I really enjoyed doing the flower pot yesterday. You know, sometimes I when I got to the first butterfly, I think, yeah, I had the bottom half of the butterfly upside down. And so it wouldn't line up with it. So he come over and had a look at it. He says, "Oh, you just have it upside down." So he showed me what I did wrong. So when I did the next two butterflies, I ended up and didn't have them upside down like the first one. My mother will be 65 on the 16th. Happy birthday to your mom. Can you put Teresa on the big screen for a moment so that we can see a close up? Yes, I can. I want to see what you're doing.
All right.
There you are. You want to tell them anything about it?
It's called The Horse, and it's by Emily Taylor. And you get the instructions. I don't know if she has this available anymore. Somebody told me the other day that she didn't, but every now and then she does another run if she gets enough, you know, people asking about it. So it's Collage Quilter. That's her website if you're interested. This cost me $40, and that's just for the pattern, not the fabric. But it comes with a really big panel, fabric panel, and it's, let's see, 36 by 47. So you get a black and white of the horse, and then you get directions, and then you get a colored photo of the one that she did. And I know at one time she had kits for this. I don't know how much that was, but did you see that well enough?
Can everybody see that okay? Robin says 85 on the 16th. Must be her mom. Sherry says, that's amazing. Sandra says, I love Legos. I purchased a black and white kitty and up. Yeah, that tuxedo cat's pretty darn cool. And it's going to get retired this year. I want them to do a Dachshund or a German Shepherd one.
So this is one of the ears here.
That's really cool. And
The
you're
other
using
ear
purple?
over here.
It looks like you're using purple.
Yeah, I'm using purple, yeah, blues, dark blue, black, all petites.
Awesome. It's going to be pretty when you get it all done. It's already looking good. Excuse me.
Oh, yeah, and so this is the mane right here, starting to come down. The head of the horse is on this side. This is the neck section.
Robin says it's gorgeous.
Thank you. Don't forget thumbs up, you guys. It looks like you have 31 people watching right now.
Oh, nice. That's great. I didn't know who. Oh, I was watching. Linda says dinner is over, dishes are washed, and now to relax and maybe sew a little. It depends after she finishes her coffee. I have something to show you guys too, especially since Sherry's here. Hang on a minute. I'll be right back.
Mary says the horse pattern is sold out. You might check if you're interested and seeing if there's a waiting list or something. How much were they, Mary? Or does it tell you if it's sold out? So I think it was 40 when I bought it, but I think I bought this. It was either last year, early last year, or the year before.
Oh, speakers.
I think I need to dye. I think I need to dye my hair. It's really getting gray.
You and me both. All right, let me show you the center of this. Actually, I hope you can see all of this. Ready? Laura said, hey, Laura.
Hi, Laura.
Oh, I need to take you off of the spotlight.
Oh, yeah.
They're not going to see anything. And I'm going to spotlight myself because I wanted y'all to see where my hand quilting, see if you can see what I've been doing anyway. I hope you can see it.
Oh, that's a pretty block.
Can you see the hand quilting?
Yeah, a little bit. I can see your thread hanging down there.
Oh yeah, because I still can't figure out how to fasten off. I'm still struggling with that.
Yeah. Nice. What let's see the back.
You're not going to see anything on the back
Oh, okay.
because look at the color. You're not even going to see the thread. I try to see the thread and I can't see it. It's there because I feel it.
Yeah. Cool. Oh, I can see it better. I see it really good in the laptop. Yeah. Nice.
But I did curves on the hourglass part. I mean, it's not perfect.
It's perfect enough, isn't it?
Yeah, it's it's my first quilt I'm doing by hand like that.
Right. I think it's great.
It's going to have mistakes on it, but that's okay. That's how you learn. Hey there, Stacy. Hi, Katie. I can't stay long, but wanted to hit that thumbs up and send some love. Thank you so much. Laura says, Katie, it looks beautiful. Lori says, hi, Katie. Hi, Lori. Welcome, welcome. Linda says, looking good. Did I miss anyone? Okay, I'll get back to sewing now. I like what you did, Katie, says Sherry. Thank you. I don't know what I want to do with the rest of it, though. That's what's crazy. I did, did the hourglass part in the center of the star, but now I don't know what I want to do with the rest of it. Quilting on says, love, love, love. I ended up using variegated, you probably see the thread look variegated. It seemed to work better. And the strange thing with this yarn or thread, it's soft versus the other number 10, because that was the number 10 I used. But boy, oh boy, that bigger thread and that bigger needle is hard on my hand.
Yeah.
I poked my finger kept poking different parts of my fingers. was crazy.
Yeah.
But I know that it'll, and Sherry, I ended up taking it out of the hoop. The hoop was just too big and too annoying, I think is what it was. I couldn't get the needle. You know how you were teaching us how to do, multiple stitches when we're putting the needle through there, and it wouldn't let me do it like that. So I ended up taking it out of the hoop. I probably should have, if it had a smaller hoop, it probably would have worked better. Maybe, I don't know. But I did notice you cannot see the stitches on the back of it, which is weird, but you can feel it with your fingers. I was in the process of moving my sewing room to my basement, and then we had a huge leak and had to move everything again. The contractors have been here all day trying to fix the leak. Are they going to be able to fix it, Laura? Our basement leaks too. That's why we don't have anything in it. She's now I've got to introduce you to English paper piecing. It's addictive. Yeah, I don't know about that English paper piecing part. I'm not so sure about that one. Uh-oh. Did I end up? No, I didn't. Oh, I thought for a minute I was missing one. Never mind. So, when I had my last live, I was telling y'all about what I discovered on my Janome. And I was talking to the Janome people, and then they had me talking to the people I bought my machine from. They're not going to do anything about the paint coming off of my machine.
Wow.
Nothing.
That
Which
does not
sucks.
surprise me.
Because she kept, every time she emailed me back, she says, I need you to wash it down. I washed it. It's not going to come off. That is bare metal.
Right.
She says, it just makes it looks like you used the heck out of your machine. And I'm thinking, what's that got to do with anything?
How long have you had it?
It's 5 years. Well, I've had, it's 5 years old, but I didn't start sewing on it until 10 months after I got it. So there was a whole 10 months where I didn't sew on it at all because I was afraid of it. So technically, I've only been using it 4 years and 2 months. And I didn't know that the table was rubbing the paint off until I decided to take the straight pins out of my machine. And when I took the table away, I'm like, what the hell is that? And at first I thought it was dust, and I run my finger across it. My finger came back with black stuff on it. And I'm like, that doesn't look like dust. That looks like metal stuff.
Right.
So I got me a washcloth with some mild soap and wiped the machine down. Sure enough, it had rubbed the paint to the metal. And that's what was on my finger was metal. Like you would get or you know how when you've used a lead pencil with your fingers, if you rub your finger across a lead pencil, that graphite rub off on your fingers, it was the same effect with this metal on this machine. So I'm like, great. So if I ever wanted to trade it in, they'll probably demote it price-wise because it's there,
Yeah, I wonder if you could paint it, paint over
I
it.
wouldn't know how to paint it. It's just, it feels like enamel painting on it. I guess that's what that is. Whatever they use on sewing machines anyway. Because this machine's a metal machine for the most part, except for the covering on the front side where the electronics is at. But the rest of the machine's all metal. Sherry says, I would like it. She says, I prefer out of hoop too. Yeah, I seem to get more done being out of hoop. I was just trying to see if it couldn't keep me more stable, But guess not. Laura says, I'm hoping everything is good now. My husband bought me a long arm without my knowledge, and it will be delivered Saturday. I'm praying that the leak is fixed. It was 10K to fix it. Oh my God, that's crazy. She says, we are moving my sewing room to the basement because we only use it a few times a year at the holidays, and it'd be better use for space. Yeah, if we had a basement like what you're talking about, we can't really stand up in our basement at all. You can, but barely. But if we had a true basement, I think the basement would get used for Legos for sure, and a sewing room. I wish we could buy a bigger house.
Are houses hard to come by there?
Yeah, there's housing issues here and have been since I've been living here anyway.
Yeah.
People wait up to 2 years to get an apartment. I don't know where they stay while they're waiting.
With friends, I guess.
I
Maybe.
guess. Yep, housing's an issue here. But Nuke is building big apartment buildings at left and right now, trying to get prepared for tourism and everything else. Now that airport's there, the international one. They're going to have to do something when our runway opens and people start coming in that way for tourism too. They're going to have to do something because right now we only have, I think we have one hostel and we also have one hotel, and that's all we actually have. And there's 2 or 3 Airbnbs here, but outside of that, everybody's mostly living in what's here. And I am not living in an apartment.
No.
No way. I told Nikolaj I wish we could move to Nuke because it might be better to be there, but I'm not living in an apartment. Not happening. I could not deal with drinking people. Too much trauma from my past. We have a neighbor over here. He hasn't done it in a long time, but for the longest time, you could hear him partying at the first of the month. And by the time the rest of the day progressed, it sounded like they were over there fighting, which was triggering me because I could hear him inside my house. End up having to turn the TV up where I couldn't hear him.
Yeah, that gets annoying pretty fast.
Yeah, I can't deal with people who scream at each other. It's a trigger. And there's nothing I can do about it. You know, as far as it being a trigger. Kind of like when people slam doors. Can't deal with that either. You know, I didn't know that was even a problem until I, to get our medicine, we have to go up to the hospital to get it, and the pharmacist is in the basement, and there's these huge heavy doors all up and down the hallway, and they have this spring thing, so when they go walking through the door, it shuts behind them. Instead of them grabbing the doorknob and letting the door shut slowly so it doesn't slam, it's those spring things slam them. And after about 15 minutes of hearing it while I'm waiting in line, I'm just like, I want to run out of the hospital. So I've gotten where I just concentrate on breathing and playing solitaire to, focus on the game itself and try to tune out the noise. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. Hey, Rita, did you notice that something was back on the sewing machine? I I guess she's still in here. Laura says our basement was basically a hangout for our kids. They're older now, and we only use the area when we host holidays. We've decided that we can use the space for my sewing area. I think that's a great idea. Make use of it.
I'll be back in a sec.
Okay. Better than wasting the space when you can use it. Laura says, Sherry, he surprised me with the purchase. He knew that quilting on my domestic was painful. I could do it, but hurt for days. At QuiltCon, he got a good deal and bought it and told me it was coming. That is so cool. All right, I'm going to go press these real quick. New room. New long arm. Wow. Yep.
Hi, Lori.
Okay. These have been pressed. We'll set those aside. Now we got to sew the other two sides on these square and squares. So we're coming up on 2 hours in a few minutes.
We are?
Yeah.
Oh, you are. Yeah. Okay.
So I didn't know what, if you want to stop at that point or what are you up for? Oh, I need to unspotlight myself too. Oops.
Oh, yeah.
Sherry says, I'm in the golf cart taking my dog for a ride and listening in. Fun, fun.
I don't know. What do you want to do?
We could go another half hour if you want. Is that what stop? What time's your dinner hour?
Oh, we don't eat until about 6:30, 7 o'clock. So
Okay.
that would be 3.5 more hours before dinner.
Oh, okay, gotcha. I don't think there's anyone that's live behind me tonight. Not right behind me, that is.
Did I see that there was somebody coming on at 5?
I don't know. Who?
I don't know.
6, 7, 8. That would be 8 o'clock my time. Well, whoever it is, they're doing their live now.
Robin, I'm here. You might check, make sure you're live. Click on the live thing.
Yeah.
Every once in a while it gets behind. My laptop does that, and I gotta
Oh,
highlight.
yeah, and she probably just hadn't noticed that I took myself off Spotlight either,
Yeah.
because it was on Spotlight. Katie, my husband and I have been together for 36 years. You speak of Nico as your heart light. My husband is my heart. I fell in love with him the day we met. I'm more in love every day we're together. I know. That's just awesome, Laura. I call him my heart light because when he smiles at me, that's what I see is light.
I call mine my old fart. I'm just kidding. I knew my husband 2 months when we got married.
Well, we had an 8-year-long online friendship, that, and we were real, like, he was like my BFF.
Yeah.
We just never flirted or nothing the whole time we were talking to each other, because part of that 8 years was before my first husband died. And I don't believe in cheating on your marriage, even if it is crappy.
Yeah. Yep, I agree.
I mean, he did it to me plenty of time, but that doesn't mean that I should be doing it back. You know what I mean?
Yep, I know what you mean.
I'm just not that kind of person.
No, I feel like if you're at that point in your marriage, then you might as well get a divorce.
Yeah. I was raised to stay in mine. That's why I stayed in it. We were together. We were married almost 21 years before he did what he did. And Nikolaj and I are going to hit 15 years in January, so we're fixing to hit another milestone. I told him, I said, if we make it to 20 years, I will be a happy camper. Meaning if I live long enough, that is.
Oh, you will.
I need to get past my mother's age. She passed away when she was 66. I worried about, because my dad died at 56, so there was that. And when I made it past that with no heart problems, but now it's, my mother died of a brain tumor, of one of those really rare kind that is built by the brain, ganglioblastoma or whatever you call it,
Yeah.
GBY for short.
Go ahead.
She didn't even know she had a tumor until she got in a car accident.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, she got teeth. My mother was blind in her left eye. And she had been blind in her left eye all of her, I guess, from the age 5 or 6 when she got hit in the head by an axe, by accident, the back side of the axe. And she'd always been a good driver. I've only ever known her have one accident when I was a kid when she had that accident. And that was the last time that I'm aware of that she ever even had another accident. And then a month after my husband died, she was on her way to Casey's Produce, which means she had to pull across. She pulled into the turn lane because it's a 4-lane plus turn lane, which is 5 lanes. And she got T-boned, which means she pulled out in front of someone. And that's not like my mom to just pull out in front of someone that way. She didn't see him because she didn't know she had lost her peripheral vision because the tumor was sitting on top of her occipital lobe.
Oh.
And so because and the doctors was going to cut her loose, And she went to stand up, she fell on the floor, and they're like, you're not going anywhere because that's not normal. And so they ran a CAT scan, and that's when they found it. And because of her age, you know, the survival rate was like 1%, even though she was so healthy. Because she had the surgery and they took it out, and within a few months it was back and more aggressive than it was before.
Yeah.
It grows really fast. She wasn't suffering from any kind of pain or nothing. And after she had the surgery, her deterioration kind of like, at one point, or she got where, the doctor was telling her she needed to have a walker so that when she went to stand up, she would fall down. And I told her she needed to be using that walker because I don't want people thinking that we were big, because she would fall down and she'd have all these marks all over her. And, if public saw it, they think one of us was beating on her when we weren't, because she'd want to go to the store or whatever. And, but at some point she got where she couldn't speak anymore. It affected her speech, but it didn't affect her mind. She was all there. Because she'd come in there and tell me to turn a pot of rice on or off when I was making her food. She'd come in there and point at the switch to tell me to turn it off. And I'm like, Mom, there's still water in it. And she'd point at it again and tell me, turn it off. And I'm like, okay, I'll turn it off. And then when I went to open the pot later, when I got finished cooking the rest of the food, I'm like, she knows more than I thought she did, because the rice was done by the time I got ready to, serve her food to her.
All right.
So she had all her faculties, she just couldn't speak.
I had an older sister that had a brain tumor, and she was 16 when they took it out.
Wow.
Or took them out. She had 3 tumors, 3 or 4, and she passed away when she was 20.
Golly, that's so young.
Yeah. But she lived longer than they expected. One of the tumors was so far in there they couldn't get it out,
Yeah.
And we're talking, that was back in like the late 70s. So
back then when they didn't have better ways of dealing with it.
Yeah. And she had to have cobalt and radiation treatments.
They did chemo with my mother, but I don't think they did. I know they did. I knew they were doing chemo. They may have done radiation too, because they shaved one side of her head to put marks on it. So they must have did radiation too. She didn't. The strange thing is my mother didn't. A lot of people get really, really sick with that stuff, but she didn't. She was, I don't know, she just didn't suffer like so many do when they're doing it.
Yeah.
Or she just had, but she's always had a strong constitution anyway. She suffered from stomach trouble quite a bit, but outside of that, she wasn't the type to lay down and be sick.
My sister's, how we found out was she started having really bad headaches. And I mean bad headaches. But and she still had the headaches, but they weren't as bad. But she started having later on, like she started having seizures.
Oh boy.
Yeah.
Hey Joe, Vintage Style, welcome. Good to see you.
Hi Joe. Doing okay? Laura, I met my husband in April too. I don't think it was April 1st though, but, and then we got married in June.
He asked me to marry him on Valentine's Day in 2010. And then we got married January the 2nd of 2011 while I was still here. I came over here to visit. We wanted to see, I came in the middle of December, and we wanted to see how my asthma would react to the winter here. And in between Christmas and New Year's, he's like, you know what? I don't want to wait until June or July of next year, especially when we don't know for sure that Kristen could get off the aircraft carrier to come see us get married. Let's get married on the 2nd. I'm like, okay. And I did. So when I went back to the United States, I was a married woman again.
It'll be 28 years for us in June. God, I can't believe I've been married that long.
Oh, that's so cool.
Yeah. My first marriage lasted 13 years.
So the other one was pretty long too, man.
Mm-hmm.
I can't believe I'm coming up on 15 years. I can't believe I'm coming up on 14 years of living here. It doesn't seem that long.
Robin, my sister lost all her hair. She had a little teeny bit of fluff up here, but she just cut it off. So she had to wear wigs and stuff. She had a scar on her head like this. It was from here, and it went up, and then it went over, and then back down.
Wow.
It was a terrible scar. Terrible.
My mom didn't really lose much, other than what they shaved off to do the chemo or the radiation and the surgery. But she had hair down past her behind.
Yeah, my sister did too. She had really long pretty hair.
Yeah, she didn't lose much of her hair. And the woman that would put my mom's hair up on her head, because they were in that kind of church, knew how to fix it so that it would cover up the surgery area and everything. Because mom was all worried about image at that time. And I'm like, I don't know why you're worried about that. People know you're sick.
Yeah, but
But because you're in a church where you're not supposed to be cutting your hair, I guess it bothered her quite a bit. That's why, even now at my age, I still have quite, yeah, we cut quite a bit of my hair off because it was down past my butt. Just, I don't know, 6 months, 4 months ago, Nikolaj cut half of it off because I asked him to.
Yeah.
But yeah, my hair's still quite long. And I think the reason I don't go short is because of, I guess, that belief of cutting your hair, still ingrained in me.
The way you were raised.
Plus, I don't think I look good with short hair anyway. You know what my mother would do? When we were kids, this is before she got in the church and, wasn't allowed to cut our hair. She'd wait till our hair would be down past our butts, and then she'd go and have it cut either in a pixie cut or one of those short shags, and I always looked like a boy right after that. They do that because my hair was always straight.
Yeah.
Baby fine straight hair, so it didn't have no body to it at all.
I hear a car. Hold on.
Okay. Laura says, Teresa, we were together about 6 months when he proposed. We both admitted that we knew we would get married after we first met. I wonder why I have been so fortunate to find him. He's a blessing. I wouldn't question why. I never thought I would get married again. I had already, pretty much accepted that fact, and because I knew I didn't want to be treated badly again. And this man came into my life and treats me good.
Willa, hush up, baby.
She's fine. She doesn't sound that loud. Besides, y'all get to hear Nora talk all the time. Did you figure out what was going on?
I'll be right back. It's the UPS guy.
Okay. Hey, Jess, how you doing? I hope you're doing well. Jess, I am truly blessed and grateful. I'm pretty certain that there aren't too many out there as kind and loving as he is. He supports me in everything I do, and I try to do the same for him. Yeah, those of us who have men like this, we're very fortunate for sure. I know I have a lot to be thankful for, that's for sure. That's why I call him my heart light, because that's exactly what he is. Finch says obsessed with horror. Oh, that's someone's name. Hey, obsessed, what is your first name, if you don't mind my asking? Sherry said, well, we're done with all our golf cart and now we're taking a walk. Are you at the campground, Sherry?
All right, I'm back.
Welcome back.
We have our dog food delivered.
Oh, okay, cool.
Yeah. It's just the easiest way to do it. That way we know we're getting it, because sometimes the store doesn't have the brand we use. And so we just started having it delivered.
Sounds like a good plan to me.
Yeah.
Okay, so 2 of those. There we go. 2 of those. All right, flying geese time looks like. All right. All right. So we're going to do 2 E's with 2 D's. And that's going to finish up that color. Okay.
Hmm.
So how you doing, Jess? Okay. So we're making these flying geese. So when you get, so you're basically, are you using like a fusible on the back of those pieces that you're putting on the fabric?
Yeah.
And then do you have to sew around each of those edges, or what do you do?
No. After this, your project is done, because I iron it on parchment paper. So all of this will just lift right off.
Mm-hmm.
And then I'll put it on a piece of background fabric
Okay.
and press it down really good. And then because I'm using a fusible, the glue, you really
Mm-hmm.
got to steam the heck out of it,
Yeah.
because that helps soak that glue into the fabric, and it doesn't gum up your needle as much
Okay.
when you get ready to quilt it.
Mm-hmm.
And then you can either thread paint when you quilt it. So thread painting would be like picking the same color as like a dark for your ears, and then just going in and doing some thread painting. Or you could just do a really small stippling stitch,
Mm-hmm.
or meander, like, but it's got to be pretty small, you
Yeah.
know. Um, and you just do that over the whole thing.
Cool.
Yeah. And I don't know that these are typically put in the washing machine, but
Uh-huh.
now some people like Susan Carlson, she oh, you ought to see some of her art collage quilts. They're awesome. She has a YouTube channel, Susan Carlson, and she will go back over it with tulle. It's that, like
It's a
that
type of
netting.
sewing.
It's kind
Yeah.
of like a netting,
Mm-hmm.
or what they make those little ballerina tutus out of.
Yeah.
Yeah. And you can use that and lay it over the top of it. And that, you know, if you use the right colors of that, it can make your areas either brighter or darker or what have you. And I think she just glues that down. Susan doesn't use fusible webbing. She just uses regular glue or a tacky glue.
Mm-hmm.
She uses tacky glue, which works good too.
That's cool. Sounds
But
like,
I don't mind that, but your fingers end up getting all sticky with glue, and I don't really like that.
yeah.
I never have liked my hands getting sticky.
Yeah, I don't like glue on my fingers either. been having trouble with my hands the last few days. They've been itching and burning, and I don't know what's causing it. Unless I'm becoming allergic to the dish soap. I only could use any, specific kinds of dish soap because I was allergic to all the rest of it. I'm wondering if that's not fixing to be a problem for even the one that I've been using for a while.
Yeah.
And I'm a tactile person, so wearing gloves is not my thing. But I was cleaning up some stuff off the floor today, dust, and I had gotten down there to pick something up in the middle of it. I'm wondering if the dust didn't cause it.
It could be.
Because I found some dust up underneath the bed and I went to reach under there and should have probably just got the vacuum cleaner. But no, I used a piece of cardboard to move it with and I got it on my hands. I don't know how dust gets up underneath the bed, but it does. We have plastic containers with Legos in them underneath the bed. And I guess dust can still get up underneath there even though you got those under there. I'm so happy about Blaze getting promoted to 4th grade. He's doing so good. He's had a great 3rd grade year between all the teachers and 3 reading teachers, and he's not been in trouble not once this year, which has made me a very happy person. He's settled down a lot.
Oh, that's great.
Yeah, Thomas called me the other day and he says, Mom, I need to talk to you about something. I'm like, okay. And he says, I walked into Blaze's room and it smelled like BO, and I'm like, uh-oh. He says, what do I use? What do I get him? And I'm like, I said, are you still using the same thing I started you on? Yeah, I said, try that and see if he likes it or not. I said, make sure that, if it gets to be a real problem, make him take a shower in the morning before he goes to school too, even though he takes one at night. He seems like a little young to be already having hormones, but some kids mature sooner, I guess.
Yeah.
He turns 9 in July. But he's doing really good. I'm really happy with the school system and everything that he's gotten this year. They really have stepped up to the plate to help get him caught up and dealing with all the issues and stuff. And it's just been really, this town has been really bang up on helping them.
That's awesome. It's nice to have support like that.
Yeah, this school is one of those gold star schools apparently. So, and I didn't realize that when, until after he'd been going for almost a year, that's what kind of school it was. I didn't even know it was a charter school until I went and looked it up. But they make sure that all their students, by the time they get to their senior year, they can read and write and do mathematics. That's one of the things they promote a lot. Okay, so we did E and D. Now we got to do C and E.
The smell of that roast is just killing me. It's making me hungry already.
I'll bet. Thomas said that his grades are number grades. He doesn't get letter grades. He gets number grades. Okay, now we're going to sew these two together. Man, this is going to go good, these two colors together. I'll show it to you when I get them sewn together.
Okay.
The biggest thing that Blaze has had to learn this over the last several months, and he's finally got it in his head now, is he's had to learn not to engage when he's being bullied, to turn around and walk away instead. Because he was being bullied on the bus for a little while there, and when he was being bullied, he thought it was okay to just bully back, and now he's getting where he just ignores it and doesn't get in trouble anymore. Because every school has bullies.
Yeah. Great, so.
And fighting back just gets you in trouble.
Yeah, especially if you get caught.
Yep. And when you're on a bus and a student pushes you and you push a student back because he's bullying you, you get written up too. And if it happens more than once, even though you're defending yourself, you end up kicked off the bus, where you can't ride the bus even though you were defending yourself. So Thomas has had to really engage with him and say, don't push. If you get pushed, you tell the bus driver, you don't lay a hand back on that person, because you will get kicked off the bus. Because he got wrote up for defending himself.
You should be able to defend yourself.
Yeah, but these days you're not allowed to defend yourself because, yeah. Because he got written up for defending himself. And I'm like, that's really sad. But we went through the same problem at the high school in Lake City. If two kids, if a bully came up and punched a kid, and that kid hit that kid back, both of them were arrested and hauled off to the jail for their parents to come and get them. Even though the one that was defending himself was just defending himself.
And that's why so many people now homeschool.
Yeah.
One of the reasons.
I felt like that I mean, I wouldn't have minded homeschooling my kids, but I don't feel like they homeschooling, you're keeping them protected against that kind of stuff. But then when they become adults, they're still thrust out into the real world, and they got to learn how to deal with that anyway.
Yeah.
And you can't do it if you keep your kids hidden from it. They just have to learn how to control themselves and not engage. It's not fair. I mean, when my youngest daughter came home one day. She says, Mom, did you know that these boys have been taking Thomas's lunch money out, during band practice? And I'm like, what are you talking about? He ain't told you? No. I give him money every day, just like I give you money because y'all have band practice and, you get your water and stuff, that Coke machine. So when he came home, I asked him about it. He says, yes. And I said, why didn't you tell me? Because they threatened to hurt my sisters. And I'm like, wait, they did what? Oh boy. When I got up to the school the next day and talked to the law enforcement up there and told them what was said, they went and got those 3 boys. And by the time they were done with them, those boys never came within a mile of Thomas or his 2 sisters. And the girls weren't even aware of that was going on because he had not said a word about it. And it was all because I had been teaching them their whole school life that you don't fight back, you walk away. That fighting will get you kicked out of school or suspended, or worse, high school, where you end up, I get phone calls telling me that my child is in jail. The kid that bullied seems to get punished. The kid that bullied seems to get punished more harshly than the bully. I think the authorities are more afraid of the bully's parents because they're just like their kid. Yeah. I mean, it just sucks that it's handled this way. I remember one time there was this girl that wouldn't leave me and my sister alone. We were in middle school. Yeah, middle school. And one day when we had walked off campus to get ready to catch a bus, and this girl kept messing with us, and I don't remember, I think it was my sister that punched her because the girl hit Cheryl first. And, it ended up with both of us getting in a fight with this girl. And we were off campus at a bus stop. The school system bus was picking us up. We got suspended from school for defending ourselves. So when we got home, my dad was livid because we got suspended from school. And I was never one to get in a fight. I didn't believe in fighting because I thought it was a waste. I had enough bullying at home. Why would I want to go to school and deal with the same problem, Because school was kind of my escape.
Yeah.
At least I knew I wasn't going to be beat on while I was at school. For the most part, I didn't, it just, in high school, I thought my high school years I was a quiet person, but I didn't have a bad high school years at all. I mean, I didn't really have anybody bothering me all that much. Middle school was hard. Kids can be so mean. And we came for, middle school was the 8th grade, I think is when I started. We had moved from South Florida up there, so I didn't know anybody. Well, none of us did, actually. And, the new kid in school, let's pick on them kind of thing. But by the time I got in high school, that stuff wasn't even going on anymore.
My younger little brother was getting beat up off of the school bus.
Mm-hmm.
And I was already down the road a ways, and I heard all this hooting and a hollering, and so I ran back, and I'm sorry to say, but I beat the shit out of that kid. I was pissed. Like, you don't pick on my little brother. I mean, and my brother hadn't done anything, you know. I think it
Yeah.
was a new school thing, and nobody picked on him after that. But
Oh no, not if they're gonna deal with big sister.
yeah, and I think I was like 10 or 11 years old, something like that.
Ooh, sounds like you were a feisty one.
Well, I didn't go around picking on people. I didn't believe in that, but I'm not going to let somebody's. He
Well,
had
that's what
my
I meant.
brother. He had my brother down on the ground and was pounding him, you know.
Oh my God.
And I lifted him off of there, and I just. And he was probably my size. The kid was. He was bigger than my brother. And but see, my dad used to make us kids box because my dad was a boxer, you know, or
Hmm.
so. I mean, we didn't box with knuckles. We had boxing gloves. So I knew how to throw a punch. He wasn't doing it to make us mean or anything like that, you know. Don't
Yeah.
get me wrong. It was just an activity. I don't think any of my brothers and sisters bullied people at school, but they didn't take any crap either. You know, they didn't.
Yeah. My middle sister, she was the firebrand. If anyone messed with either me or my other sister, she'd be right there in their face.
Yeah,
She never started anything. It was always she was going to finish it if someone else started it.
right. That's how I was.
And me, I would just turn around and want to walk away and not deal with it at all. I thought, walking away was better. But Cheryl, sometimes she's like, nope, she's not getting away with it. She touched you, or he touched you, you know. One time I think I was in the ninth grade, and there was this boy who was constantly messing with me. And I don't remember what word he used, but after a while I got tired of it because he kept using it. And one day I just meant to hit him in the arm to tell him to back off, that I was tired of it. And he ducked. And when I hit him, guess where I hit him at?
Uh-oh.
Right across the face.
Oh,
And I did not know that bitch slapping a boy was a bad thing, because he chased me down the hallway, and our teacher had both of us in the principal's office, and the principal said, he says, I'm gonna ask her first what happened. So I told him, and I said, he's been harassing me nearly since the beginning of the school year, calling me these particular names. And I just got enough of it one day, and I just meant to hit him in the arm and tell him to back off me, dude. And he ducked, and I just accidentally, and it was the truth, I accidentally hit him in the face. And I got this lecture about, you're not supposed to put your hands on blah blah blah. I'm like, but he got the worst end of the deal, because he was literally harassing me,
yeah.
wouldn't leave me alone.
Did
And
he
then
leave you alone after that?
he did, and then I think in our junior year, one day he walked up to me and he says, I owe you an apology. I'm like, okay. He says, I was really mean to you in the ninth grade. I'm like, yeah, you were. He says, well, I was a jerk and I'm sorry. And after that, every now and then I would run into him, and he would stop and talk to me and treat me kindly. He never said anything about the fact that I had slapped him.
Well, that's good.
And really, I truly didn't mean to do it. Lori says, I had bullies. I had to change schools. In my early 20s, I ran into one of them on the bus, heading her 3 kids. Hearing her three kids call her mom was like karma. They clearly had a different dad.
Well, it's 4 o'clock. It's a little bit after 4.
Okay, yep. Yeah, let me see what time it is, my time. Yep, we've gone to 2.5 hours now. Let's see, 8:30, 9:30. Yep, 2.5 hours. Yep. Okay.
I got to move around.
Yeah. All right. So, tell them when you're live, and
Yeah,
and anything else you want to tell them.
my name is Teresa Louise. I quilt too is my channel, and I go live on Sundays at 2 o'clock-ish. Sometimes a little earlier, sometimes a little later, but usually always on Sunday. And then sometimes I pop on during the week, like I came on live for a little while yesterday. And then
Yeah.
I pop on here with Katie now and then. So
You're always
and
welcome to my channel.
thanks for having me on, Katie. I appreciate it.
Thank you for thank you for coming. And if you're not busy tomorrow night, you're welcome to come too if you want. It's up to you. If you want to do some more work on the collage, that collage is coming together.
Yeah, I got
good.
quite a bit done today, I think.
Yeah, it looks great, you know. Okay. All right. So everyone, so I want to remind everybody about tomorrow night, Friday night, what we're working on. Because I took last week off. That means I didn't do anything. So this week will be the 1,000 block again. And it's going to be on, for those who have the book, it's on page 467. We will be doing block number 919, and it is called To the Point. Right there. That's what we're going to do tomorrow night. So get your stuff cut and ready to go. And I will cut my stuff tomorrow. I haven't even cut it, so I haven't decided what color I'm going to use yet. And then Saturday, I need to check in with someone to see if we're doing Magnolia Saturday or not. I'm not sure. I need to look into that before I make, but anyway, that's what we're doing. I will let everyone know when me and Nikolaj is going to do the live for this love kit. This is going to be fun. And it's going to look cool in our crafting room. When and if we get in there anyway. Yeah, and also Shonda and Janice, normally Janice sews with me on the 4th Saturday, but she's got something going on, so we've moved it up 1 week. So on the 17th, it'll be Janice and Shonda both sewing with me, and I'll be setting up another crocheting live for this month as well, where it'll be me and Andy and Shonda, and I think we have one more person that's going to join us on the crocheting. So there's that. So thank you for coming tonight, everyone. Don't forget to hit that like button on your way out if you haven't already done it. Love you guys. And remember to live, laugh, love, and dream. What do you do with all that? You make something. Good night, everyone.
Bye.
Thank you for coming. Do
Okay.
you want to